James is having some homemade sliders today with bread, which is fresh. While we were hiking, it was making itself, and homemade ketchup, homemade honey sherry onions, and homemade little kale nuggets on there, and side of homemade pickled carrot, or pickled pickles, dill pickles, and some spinach that I hope he'll put a few leaves on it anyway. But
and something like a homemade appetite to go with it. I mean,
okay.
it wasn't, we didn't quite build up the appetite at home, but it was legitimately, you know, like just from having a good walk out in the wilds.
And we only passed one, we only saw one family while we were there.
Yeah, that's
Three
right.
children and a man.
Was it 3 kids? It seemed like 4, but I think it's just because they were so active. Speaking of kids, got some kids. There you go. It's kind of like what they call dramatic criticism, actualization. You talk about something and it appears on stage. And there's another kid going by now with a turn.
Why do you always say dead?
3 kids.
So James going to talk about a book today.
Yeah,
He's going to review his book.
Yeah, there we go. So, the New Atlantis. And it's an anthology of sci-fi. You can get all sorts of anthologies of sci-fi and stuff like that. Sometimes they're in mags, sometimes they're in books. So this is 3 authors, one of which I'd heard of before, Ursula K. Le Guin. She's supposed to be a really good sci-fi writer, this one particular style. And it's the one that the volume is named after, New Atlantis, and it's just not that good. A little bit, how can I put it? Kind of like a little vacuous or something like that. I can tell the person can write. James Tiptree Jr., that one was actually pretty good. These are all novellas, not really short stories. I might have said short stories, but that was about 100 pages long. And, it wasn't too bad. And Gene Wolfe. I wonder if his real name is Eugen Wolf, because it seems like pretty well everyone mentioned in his story has a German name, you know? So, you know, Heinz and so on and so forth. Johann. Definitely don't buy this book if it's still available. Don't buy it used. Well, buy it used if it's like in the Sally or something like that, but don't. I guess people can get stuff available on Amazon or whatever used. You know what I'm saying? Don't buy it that way. So 25 cents, 50 cents, a buck might be a bit too much. It's only about 200 pages long. I kind of, you know, I read it in one day, 200 pages in one day. I'm pretty happy with myself if I can get through 200 pages in one day. Anyway, it wasn't that exciting, wasn't it? I got through it in one day. That's better than a lot of books, you know, better than the Philip K. Dick book that took me a couple of months or a month to read. And he's a big name player. So there we go. How's that?
Yeah, if a book takes you that long to get through, it can't be.
Well, there are a lot of factors involved. I mean, a person might be taking a course or a bunch of courses or whatever, right? But if it's COVID time and you can't get through a book a day, there's something wrong with the book. That's my theory. So, yeah, there we go. So these are sliders. Is that what I heard you calling these? Homemade sliders. I
suppose so.
There we go.
Yeah. So that's it for our review today.
Fresh out of the bread making.
Yep.
You didn't want to talk about anything we heard on the CBC?
There's nothing.
Yeah, maybe.